everyone. I am Courtney Dillon. I'm your host just today for Channeling Erik. And this is the amazing and talented and my friend who I love, Veronica Drake. And she is going to be channeling Mary Magdalene today. So we're very, very excited to have her. And thank you for being here.
Hey, I am super excited. And I will tell you, she came in like a force. And I actually saw a blue
Mhm.
circle in the middle of her forehead, which was very cool this morning when I was sitting in meditation. So I'm excited.
She put something on on like almost like a ring around your head also as we were talking. And yesterday she gave me an ankh, the Egyptian.
Yeah.
Yeah, she reached out, and as I was meditating with her, she handed that to me. So we'll see what that means today. All right. As people probably know by now, I'm the host, but we kind of co-channel. So that's how this goes. Okay, so I'm gonna read the little intro. But I don't know if she needs much of an introduction. Here we go. Um, Mary Magdalene was a woman who, according to four canonical gospels, traveled with Jesus as one of his followers and was witness to his crucifixion and resurrection. She is mentioned by name 12 times in the gospels, more than most of the apostles, and more than any other woman in the gospels other than Jesus's family. Mary Magdalene is considered to be a saint by the Catholic, Eastern Orthodox, Anglican, and Lutheran denominations. In 2016, Pope Francis raised the level of memory on June 22nd from memorial to feast. So she is referred to as the Apostle of the Apostles. And some Protestant churches honor her as a heroine of the faith. Okay, that's a good little introduction, and we'll see what she has to say. Thank you.
Um,
Go ahead.
I feel like I want to cry. Like she is, and I say this a lot, but I'm telling you, each interview we do, the persons get more and more powerful. And I feel like she's just wrapping me in her love. She is just incredible. I'm excited to see what she shares with us.
Well, thank you, Mary, for being here, and also thank you, Erik. I don't suspect he'll say much, but we'll see. Okay. Um, so here we go. Mary, what aspects of your life have been most misunderstood or misrepresented throughout history?
The biggest was the idea that I was a prostitute. This is not an accurate fact. This was a move that was made to lessen the feminine, to put us in our place, if you will. This was constructed by man to weaken not only me, but all women. I fear that my authority as a teacher threatened them. I was never a prostitute. I was always in my heart a healer.
I was an equal to the one we call Yeshua. I was his partner. I spoke to others as a healer and as a teacher. I was an apostle of the one Christ. I am Mary of the Magdalenes. I speak to you now across time, across space, in order to heal that which has been desecrated, that which has been abused. But I say to you, it is not destroyed, for the feminine is rising now on earth. And I speak to you as you watch this rising and feel this healing within yourself. for there is a balancing. Make no mistake, the feminine is not weak. The feminine cannot be destroyed, even though they try to destroy us. They try to burn us and kill us. But I come back. I have been waiting, and it is the time. Can you tell us more about your life before meeting Jesus?
There's so much to share with you. Yes, my beginnings were well off. I was well positioned in the time and the place. My family had means, which allowed me to go deep into the mysteries of life. I had the room, literally and figuratively, to explore and expand what I knew deep in my heart. I spent many, many, many times in the temples. I became quite familiar with the sacred oils. I understood the herbs on a level that no one in my time, or quite frankly, anyone in your time, understands, which is part of my reason for coming forward. I'm here to share the knowledge of the land. I also got schooled by the divine directly in energetic healing. I was allowed and privileged to go deeper than most women, and then I would say also most humans. I spent my time surrendered and offering myself for greater purposes. I had no agenda as I studied the mysteries.
I carry within me the key of Magdalene and know as I was a young girl that this knowledge was intact within me from previous lifetimes. We chose to come back within the same lineage, to do our work on the earth, to carry through the mysteries across time and across space and across oceans. There are many mysteries that have not been lost but are returning to earth now. They may seem to some of you as miracles, such as the miracles of Christ, but in truth, they are in order and in line with the natural law, and you too can procure miracles in your own life if you understand the deep mysteries within yourself.
You call them mysteries, I call them breadcrumbs. She's saying these mystical teachings are simply breadcrumbs to lead us home.
Before meeting Jesus, were were you possessed by demons, and why? How did that come about?
This is another false story. I was not possessed by demons. I did have deep emotional wounds, and I did have trauma, and it manifested in an erratic behavior. I also had energetic attachments, but not the kind you're thinking. These energetic attachments were not demonic in nature. They were simply aspects of myself that I didn't know how to face or necessarily want to face. This is what you will now know as the shadow side of self. These demons, if you will, allowed me to go deeper than I ever thought possible and to turn that energy into power, to integrate the shadow aspects of oneself is to grow and to align with the deeper purpose for life. This is what it was about. And unfortunately, anything that looks different from what people or society call the norm, people get afraid. They want to isolate it. They want to study it. They want to lock it away. This is what happened to me. But I now know this was part of my path to become part of Jesus's posse.
Mhm. Many of you now face demons within yourself. Allow them to come forth and greet them. Look them in the eye. I am here to overcome. I am here to release all that is not true. For I am one with my eternal self now, and I come into recognition of all that is. How did your spiritual path begin, and what called you toward transformation?
I would rephrase that and ask, how did my spiritual path continue as I became human? I have always, and we all always, feel the pull of something bigger inside of us. We know, even if not consciously, that spirit is speaking to us. I knew that my life was not for me alone. I knew that I was born into human form so that I could help speak the message, so that I could be the person who helped planted the seeds so that it would be a collective transformation when the time was right. I believe that this was and is for all a remembering. This isn't something that you seek, it is seeking you. And you will see those breadcrumbs.
Were you truly of noble birth or from a wealthy family, as some texts suggest?
Yes, as I mentioned, I came from that, you might call them affluent. It doesn't mean that I felt better than anyone or that I had this sense of entitlement. What it allowed for me to do was to become a student that could go deep into what most people didn't have the time or the inclination or the education to understand. This was what my soul chose, as we all choose the families we come into to serve the agenda of our soul.
Yeah, she's showing me, as you were speaking, she was showing me images from her childhood, and that although it was a noble birth, which she chose, she felt that, I mean, she was really drawn to study and to learn, and that was the most important thing. Even as a child, she felt this deep pull toward spiritual awakening and practices.
She also wants to remind us that she had traumas, she had emotional wounds, and I'll let her speak to that. No matter what you're born into, it doesn't take away the fact that you will have traumas and you will have wounds. I wasn't above any of that. Some of them I chose to bring with me from other incarnations, and some of them were gifted to me by people closest to me.
Thank you. What was your relationship with Jesus really like, spiritually, emotionally, and humanly?
There was a deep and equal love and respect. We were spiritual equals. And yes, the question everyone has asked, we were in love, but not the kind of love that people think. It was a tender love. It was a divine love. It was a love that all humanity should aspire to. There was a deep understanding between us that transferred back and forth the energy of the divine. When I looked at Jesus, I could see myself. And that's not just a saying. I could see myself as if I was an overlay on the energy of Jesus. I was truly one with Jesus.
We understood too the deeper purpose of our union. For a union between two people who have chosen the other. The union is for the all. The union is to serve the all. The union and every aspect of the union is not simply for the other. It is important you begin to transform your idea of sacred union now, for you see the other as a mirror of yourself, and you see two becoming one as a way to serve the all, to serve others, and to serve your higher self.
I just want to say, Courtney, as I was channeling and as you were channeling, I just saw beautiful spheres of purple light, like, and they were going
I
vertical.
actually was seeing those too as you were talking.
I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like, I felt like it was my eyes and I'm blinking and it's like there, it's like just this holy presence.
yeah. Were you married or in sacred union with Jesus, as some alternative texts suggest? And if so, did you have children with him?
We were in sacred union. And when I say to you that we were one, that is, we were the uniting energies of feminine and masculine. We did the integration of energies and we became one. That is our sacred union. It is not what you would call marriage as the formalities of it. When it comes to talking about, did we have a child? I know there's a lot of talk around this and there's a lot of theory around this. And I want to be careful to say that I respect the union and the love I had with Jesus. We did not have a child together. I I feel like I'm gonna cry. Courtney, is there something I'm missing here? Like, do you feel that? I mean, listen, this is real stuff here, people. So I may be too close to this, as I mentioned to Courtney. Do you get something
She,
different?
um, the purpose of our union We came together for a higher divine purpose. We were aspects of one. She's showing me a circle, but they're each a part of this. We came together to offer the teachings of the Christ within on earth. We are one. That's what she says to me.
Our child was the mission. Thank you. I just want to throw something human in here for a moment. When two people are channeling, like Courtney and I are doing, as I understand it, it's as if Mary were sitting having a conversation with me, and I will interpret the way I interpret it. And Courtney, I can't speak for you, but I'm assuming you would interpret it the way you interpret it. I just want to do a little bit of teaching while we do this, because it is possible for two different mediums to get two different versions
Yes.
of one truth.
Yeah,
So
that's true. Yeah.
that's
That's
important.
helpful, I think, and important.
It's important for people to understand that.
Okay. What teachings did Jesus share with you privately that others may not have heard?
He shared with me the direct communication that he had with the divine. He shared his advanced teachings with me that have yet to be fully revealed to humanity. He went beyond the structure and the law. He taught of the inner knowing. He introduced me to the sacred feminine mysteries. He taught me how to embody and become the energy of love.
That's beautiful. So we have a couple more for part one. What do you know about Jesus's lost years, ages 12 to 30, and they're undocumented in the Bible? And some modern theories suggest Jesus may she's talking, sorry, may have spent some time with the Essenes. Can you please shed some light on it if you know anything?
No one can ever say that Jesus was a normal child. I think we all know that. But what we do know, what I do know, is that Jesus, in fact, was a student of Joseph, in the sense that he studied carpentry, as they say, with his father. But more than that, Jesus didn't just study carpentry. Every aspect of it became a spiritual teaching. How you place the board, how you place the nail, the angle that it goes on, every single thing that Joseph and Jesus did together was spiritual. He also taught Joseph during that time how to embody what we know as the Christ consciousness. He also had direct connection with multiple energies, but it wasn't public. This was Jesus's growing years. This was for him to be private. He learned many universal truths across many traditions. He didn't physically go to these traditions. He didn't have to. When you understand that you are transported by your thoughts, life is limitless.
To answer the question of the lost years, I say to you, they are not lost. It is true, Jesus and I and many others study with the one who you call a scene. A scene is a group who understand the mysteries and separated themselves out from what you would determine as normal society. There was hard work and great sacrifice and deep learning. And he spent many of those years in deep meditation and working and working. For this was not an easy task, and he knew the outcome, and he knew what he had come to earth to do. The Essenes are part of the great mystery you speak of, for they are one of the original tribes. This is the last one for part one. Why do you think your role was minimized or rewritten in the early church narrative?
By diminishing me, they erased half of the truth of the divine union. They took away the feminine. The feminine was seen as a threat. It was misunderstood by many. If you are to have a true understanding of Jesus' teachings and the divine, there are two parts that must integrate. That is the feminine and the masculine. The church needed and needs to recognize the feminine. They will never silence the feminine energy, no matter how hard they try.
They fear me. They fear you. They fear us. And they know that the feminine is strong, that the feminine is forceful, without violence. There is no weakness. If we suppress, if we kill, if we abuse, if we burn at the stake, then they may forget who they are. But within you, within each of you, you remember, and you knew, even if it was an echo, even if you did not know where that echo came from, you could hearken back, you could feel the original energy, and you knew it could not be killed, it could not be sacrificed. We return now on earth. There is a great awakening, and you who listen are part of this awakening, for you are here to know yourself in all ways as part of the one Christ that lives within you now. And you will not accept any lies. You will not accept anything that is abusive. You will not accept this any longer, for you will know the truth of who you are now. Listen to my words and go within, for it is the time to awaken. Ooh.
Where there is fear, you must always remember that you are on the right path, whether that fear comes from within you or what you are being about causes fear. It's begging you to look deeper into it and not become it.
Okay, coming back. So we will stop there. Thank you for coming to part one. Thank you, Veronica. That was incredible. And we will please join us for part two. All right. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna just end this one. We'll start a new one.